Oh, one, two, three. Welcome back to the post-game show after the last session of the Olympic men's pool play. Third session, intense game. We got our quarterfinals, y'all. Just real quick, my name is Gift Time and Bailey here with the Gift Time Rugby Network, and we're going to recap over everything that just happened on this third session and what we have coming up next. And by next, I'm talking about in like a few hours. 2 a.m. Central Time, 3 a.m., 2:30 a.m. Central Time, 3 a.m. Eastern, 3:30 a.m. Eastern, if you want to go off of that. But guys, we have our quarterfinals. Quarterfinals finally in, and it's now down in the knockout rounds. New Zealand will be taking on Canada. Great Britain is going up against USA, the Battle of the Revolution. South Africa is going against Argentina, and Fiji will be going on against Australia. Remember, Canada and Australia are the preferred third place teams to be able to enter into this match. And yo, this was crazy. Look. Typically, I like to start in a row, but let's start off right off the bat with USA versus South Africa, the final game of the third round of play for pool play. This was a game that could have gone to anybody. We know this, obviously, but as it goes, the better team always ends up getting it only on one factor, making the least amount of mistakes when it counts most. And the U.S., unfortunately, in this game, did not get to have that chance. They were the most mistake-ridden, and it gave South Africa a lot of chances. Otherwise, this was not, the skill talent is not large anymore, all right? We used to think that there was a big difference between South Africa, it's not. USA has absolutely come to play. This is a complete opposite take overall from what happened in 2016 with a series of disappointments. We got Carlin Isles. Defensive has been impeccable so far. We've seen much better movement of the ball. We've seen much better aggressive play. But, South Africa, again, swarming. Blitzbach for a reason. Came in swarming hard. Final score on that one, 17-12, and that's why we take it into the second lane. But, look, let it be known, we are a dangerous team to be playing out here. The fact that we were tied 5-5 at halftime to only allow, unfortunately, 12 straight points afterwards. And, of course, we got that last score by Brett Thompson with the crashing play. Guys, that was dope. Like, how dope was it to just watch that man long arm it through? Also, we big shout out to the big men in this one because Joe Schroeder out the bat coming in with the long arm, stretch out over the top play. Look, that's a U.S. play that you want to see. Hard nose, no games played. But rainy play, slippery ball, South Africa took advantage. So we have that. Let's start from the beginning, though. Look, these were not the most interesting game. Canada, Japan. Japan walked through this. Canada just slipped through 36-12. There's not much to say, all right? And Japan just did not look like they wanted to come out and play. Second day, they were done. So Canada's able to move forward with that. Great Britain and Fiji. Now this game was a big revelation because all this tournament, I've been looking at Fiji as a team that had, we always know they play when they want to play, but I thought that maybe they'd step back a little bit from their 2016 team. Still good, still talented, still a medal contender, but what they did to Great Britain was a crime. All right? Like, I don't know what they have against Great Britain. They demolished them in 2016, 45-8. In this game, they were already up 26-0. They smashed Great Britain. Look, they smashed Great Britain so hard, their captain had to leave the field. If you watch that game, that Great Britain's captain took so many hits to the side, he could not come back for the second half. Fiji straight up denied Great Britain any kind of chance of feeling like they were worthy of being on the same field. When you see that kind of performance by a team like Fiji, that should scare you 100%. I am legitimately nervous for Canada because Fiji, when they are at full force, cannot be stopped. Cannot be stopped. I think the only way that you're able to stop Fiji is if you decide to say, if you are, for lack of a better word, not a big threat to Fiji. All right? Don't let their humility fool you. They are going to come through if you are a threat. And Great Britain was, for whatever reason, a personal threat. That score ended 26-7. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. Great Britain was shook from the very beginning. I'm sorry, final score was 33-7. Great Britain was shook all the way through. It was not even a close game. Thank you guys for coming through. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you. And then goodbye. All right, next game up, we had Argentina versus the Republic of Korea. Look, again, this was a game more so for points and for positioning, less so competition. Korea was just washed out of this. Argentina literally was scoring at will at that point. Final score 56-0. This wasn't even worth talking about. Like, Argentina just bullied Korea all the way through. Now, the game that mattered, I think, had the most significance in terms of what was going to be the positioning, especially for Australia, was New Zealand versus Australia game. Going into this game, I actually thought New Zealand was going to have the hype on this one because Australia had performed so poorly against Argentina. And then, whenever they took on Korea, that's not really a competitive game. But I thought New Zealand, especially considering how much they have a comeback, that they were going to completely run through this. And let's never forget, there's a rivalry there for a reason. The same reason we saw a close game, Kenya, South Africa, it was the same thing, New Zealand, Australia. This game was close all the way through. Australia actually took a 12-0 lead, had 12-0 halftime lead. Going into this, Samu Kerevi is the most dangerous player for Australia. When he's on the field, I feel like Australia actually plays like the rugby traditional powerhouse that they are supposed to be. But give it up to New Zealand. They always come back strong, and two yellow cards against New Zealand, while also simultaneously bringing in fresh legs. Dylan Collier and Newstub for New Zealand scoring when it mattered most, putting New Zealand over the top, 14-12 to take it over. Like, it was an incredible ending. Great ending that goes to it. Now, this next game, Kenya-Ireland. This game goes to the theory that I already told you. Kenya is the most mind-boggling team in the tournament. Has all the strength, has all the speed, has all the height, has all the chemistry, but can't put it together in the worst way. And Ireland in this situation has to be so devastated because Kenya was sloppy in this game. It was the sloppiest I think I've seen them play. And they had a chance to get at that third position. But what makes it worse is Ireland only needed to beat Kenya by 7 points. Leave it to Kenya to still show you do not slide on us, all right? Kenya came through at the last end with the score, closing it up 12-7, getting it over, killing the 7-point lead, making it so Ireland is no longer eligible for preferred third place positioning, and that immediately put Canada in. That has to be devastating. Devastating. Winning 12-0 almost the entire game and letting that final score in. Big shout out to both teams. They're going to be very interesting in the 9th through 12th position. They're going to be really interesting to be able to see on that one. But guys, we have our matchups. This knockout round is about to be intense. Looking forward, New Zealand versus Canada. My prediction, look, it's going to be New Zealand all day. Canada has not been able to perform against any high-powered team. I do believe they're going to come with a strong performance, but I just don't think they have enough to be able to take it on. Great Britain versus USA. This one is a game that I think is going to be the absolute best and most exciting game of them all. Great Britain is coming in. They're big, they're tall, they're fast, and they're looking to try and bully their way through. I think this USA team, for the first time, is legitimately actually ready to be able to take on a team like this. I think they have the ability to shut down Dan Norton. I think that they are going to be able to contain Bibby. And look, this is a Great Britain team that is slippery. They're always slippery at the worst possible time. But I think with this U.S. team, especially hopefully if it doesn't continue raining, there's a little bit of a tropical storm situation happening in Japan. I think this sloppy play actually works into the favor of the U.S. because Great Britain is built to be a finesse team. So look for that one. I look at the U.S. to actually take this in a sneak game to take out Great Britain for that. Then we got South Africa. We got South Africa versus Argentina. I think this is actually going to be the second best game. Argentina's coming in with hot fire. Last year, they lost in the quarterfinals. Last Olympics, they lost in the quarterfinals. They want to be able to make it back, and we definitely want to be able to see. South Africa is still the ever-dangerous team. They are the blitz spot. They have the top defense, and I look at them as probably the team to be able to take this. South Africa, I've been on their bandwagon since the beginning. Argentina, don't get me wrong, they're powerful, they're quick, but I think the Blitzbog are just a lot more disciplined of a team. Look for them to be able to take this win and move on to the semis. And then finally, Fiji versus Australia. Depends on what Fiji team we get. I do think that Samu Kerevi has been an advantage for everything, but for all the other games. But let's put this into perspective. Samu Kerevi actually used to play for Fiji. He's Fijian descent. He's New Zealand-born, Australian-raised, playing for Australia. He would have been a benefactor if it wasn't for the fact that you're about to face a team completely full of Samu Kerevis. All right, Fiji's about to dominate the hell out of Australia. Absolutely dominate the hell out of Australia. Like, I think they actually consider them to be a threat. They're going to run rickshaw all over Australia. So look for that. So I'm looking at it as my semifinals being New Zealand versus the U.S. and South Africa versus Fiji. Guys, we're going to be back again for tomorrow morning about 9 a.m. because 8 a.m. is way early. We'll be back for about 9 a.m. Guys, with the quarterfinals. Let's see what these go. You guys enjoy. Hope you have a good one. Cheers.